With its electric car set to power ahead into the European market, does the future of e-mobility belong to China?
They have their products ready and they have a plan to conquer the European market.
Why are brands like NIO and their innovative marketing strategies years ahead of European automakers?
Schon die letzten 20 Jahre, da wurde einfach immer wieder ganz viel getan, diese Industrie wirklich bewusst aufzubauen.
How did BYD manage to overtake previous market leader Tesla and become the biggest e-car maker on the planet?
They control the whole value chain of the electric car. It's a very problematic situation for the European car manufacturers.
Do Germany and Europe even stand a chance of catching up with the competition from China? Or have they been left in the dust for good?
So that is really a change of the times, yeah.
In 2022, the Chinese auto industry launched an unprecedented offensive on the European market, with over a dozen new vehicles covering all model categories. And the timing is hardly a coincidence.
At the moment, we have a very special situation for the European car market. The prices for cars have gone up, and at the same time, we need to achieve green and electrified mobility. And here is, I believe, a very good, or some may call it a golden opportunity for new entrants in the game, mainly coming from China.
E-cars have recently become increasingly expensive in Europe. Among the reasons is domestic car makers' model strategies, although Russia's invasion of Ukraine has also been a factor. The dramatic rise in energy costs for production in Europe means that raw materials previously imported at low price from Russia need to be acquired elsewhere, and for a lot of money. Transport and Environment is an NGO that conducts regular studies on cleaner transportation. It discovered that the proportion of new e-cars on the roads of Europe dropped to 11% in 2022, while in China it increased to 18%. Here too, China is outstripping Europe. So what are the reasons for this development?
Zum einen natürlich die Lieferprobleme, die es derzeit gibt. Das ist aber eigentlich eher ein kurzfristiger Mangel und auch viele Fehler in der Vergangenheit. Von den Autolobbyisten war das ja auch lange die Hoffnung, dass der Verbrenner nicht 2035 nicht mehr neu auf die Straßen kommt. Und natürlich da einfach vieles verschleppt wurde in der Vergangenheit. Und jetzt, das natürlich viel schneller gehen muss. Dass sich natürlich schneller Rohstofflieferketten gesichert werden, dass schneller Batterieproduktion hochgefahren wird, langfristig auch Recyclinganlagen und es ist natürlich ein großes und Ganzes, was so zusammengedacht werden muss.
When it comes to expanding its electromobility industry, China has evidently done a number of things better than countries in Europe, including Germany.
The Chinese government has nearly a decade ago recognized that the new game, it's not the combustion engine anymore, the new game is electrified mobility. And they have set industry politic frameworks and also financial aids in order to motivate the local industry to develop a compelling offer. And now, after many years of development, the products and the efforts are ripe.
And with an eye on maximizing self-sufficiency, China introduced a rash of state subsidies, covering R&D for all e-mobility components, offering buyer incentives, speeding up the certification process compared to non-electric models, and last but not least, double the number of charging stations than the rest of the world combined, with some of them, in Beijing for example, accessible to drivers at zero cost.
Having a steady supply of required raw materials, maybe for batteries, maybe for electric motors, or you name it. I think this is a key task for the government.
They control the whole value chain of the electric car, including also the batteries.
Especially in the field of battery technology, several breakthroughs and advancements have been made by the Chinese industry.
In addition to setting new standards with its innovative lithium iron phosphate batteries, BYD also makes electric motors and chips, all under the same roof. The world's biggest e-car manufacturer has a wide range of models. European drivers can choose from the Han luxury sedan, the Tang SUV, and a small compact called Atto 3. And they cost up to a third less than their respective European rivals.
They are profiting from low energy prices because they're using a high share of coal.
China hat sich viel durch ausländische Direktinvestitionen, viele Rohstoffe auch auf dem afrikanischen Kontinent gesichert, hat einfach ganz andere Rohstofflieferketten verfügbar als das, was wir haben. Wir haben aber natürlich auch günstigere Arbeitsbedingungen und vieles geht auch auf Kosten der Umwelt und auch der Arbeiter, warum natürlich auch Autos zum Beispiel zum Teil günstiger sind als bei uns in Europa.
But while there is much to be critical of in terms of long-term commitment, China's e-mobility strategy is miles ahead of the West.
Dass jetzt schon 80% von öffentlichen Flotten wie Taxis und Co. oder Regierungsfahrzeuge und, also alles der öffentlichen Hand, in Key-Regionen schon heute Zero-Emission-Fahrzeuge sein sollen. Wo natürlich solche Ausgestaltungen einfach bei uns in Europa noch ganz klar fehlen. Gewerbliche Kunden oder Firmenwagen, die sind wirklich der Eintrittsmarkt für neue elektrische Autos. Und da gab es kürzlich zum Beispiel Meldungen von Sixt, die jetzt gesagt haben, sie kaufen 100.000 E-Autos vom chinesischen Hersteller BYD.
Sixt is a German-based international rental company, and in future anyone reserving one of their e-cars will have a 50-50 chance of being handed the keys to a slick-looking BYD like the Han.
Wegen zwei Gründen. A, die Verfügbarkeit der Autos in absehbarer Zeit und dann natürlich der Punkt, dass auch einfach chinesische Modelle sehr vergleichbar sind zu tollen europäischen Premium-Modellen.
When it comes to e-mobility, the Chinese are slowly but surely getting Europe's traditional automakers hot under the collar.
The German excellence in internal combustion engines was undisputed. But now with electric mobility, the cards got shuffled again.
It's a very problematic situation for the European car manufacturers because the quality of the Chinese electric cars is much better than it was 2007 or 2008 when they at first started to get into the European market and failed.
Meanwhile, NIO has launched its ET7 executive sedan in Europe. It comes with a unique service program that enables drivers to swap empty batteries for full ones in a matter of minutes. There will be NIO houses opening across Europe, upscale showrooms aimed at elevating the ownership experience. And the NIO model range will soon see the addition of sub-brands for compact models.
There is a strategy behind it. The key was to introduce a flagship, a halo model, right, which demonstrates the technology, which has a high price point and a healthy margin, right, to start with this and then go into the mass market.
China doesn't just have the executive segment in its sights. From the sporty BYD Atto 3 to the multi-purpose BYD D1 and the Aura R1 Mini, there are cars for every budget, and with a series of smaller models about to hit Europe.
At the lower car segments, we see that there's no product offer from Volkswagen or other European or Western car manufacturers, but the Chinese deliver. The Chinese government funded especially small cars.
The minuscule Wuling Hongguang, for example, is the top-selling e-car in China, shifting well over 250,000 units in 2021. And that's in large part thanks to its low price there, the equivalent of 3,700 euros. Not surprisingly, it is likewise headed for Europe and is already on sale in Lithuania.
The affordability of electric mobility, this is one of the key factors to master the transition towards carbon-neutral mobility.
Wir haben ja zum Beispiel in Deutschland auch, dass die Bundesregierung in 2030 15 Millionen E-Fahrzeuge auf der Straße haben möchte und jetzt gerade auf der Suche ist, durch welche politischen Maßnahmen man das unterfüttern kann und noch mal E-Autos auf die Straße bringen kann. Da sehen wir jetzt natürlich, wenn das einfach die europäischen Hersteller nicht bedienen können, dann kaufen die Kunden das und auch die Endkonsumenten von chinesischen Herstellern.
China is firmly in the fast lane and has already left the floundering European car industry in its wake.
The Chinese OEMs, they have studied exactly how the European car market works and how to successfully enter the car market.
My bet would be that China are successful in getting a market share in Europe in the forthcoming years.
As the pace hots up, will European-built cars be able to catch up? Is China's e-car offensive a cause for alarm or a catalyst? Because the future of automotive production will likely be decided sooner rather than later.